3,000 people live here, and the only ATM in town is a Bitcoin ATM.
3,000 people live here, and the only ATM in town is a Bitcoin ATM. This is not a cash ATM. It's just a Bitcoin ATM. Interesting. How the heck did they manage to get that type of monopoly over something? Hey guys, I'm Bryson here, and as you guys know, I'm not that big of a fan when it comes to cryptocurrency and all that stuff because I just rather put my money into safer, more tangible investments in a sense, okay? However though, today we're gonna talk about exactly how El Salvador is actually, of what I've heard, allegedly using Bitcoin as a form of payment now, okay? So we're gonna find exactly what is going on here. And by the way, I've heard things about, crazy hyperinflation over there, and that's why they're actually trying to do this now and all this stuff. So let's find out exactly what is actually going on here, okay? Without further ado, let's find out what's going on. If you guys are new here, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. I post videos every single day. It helps a lot with the channel, so make sure to destroy the like button. Don't forget. Plus, I appreciate it a ton, so thank you guys so much, okay? Without further ado, though, let's see what's going on here.
In early June, El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele made a big announcement.
That is why next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador.
A legal tender in El Salvador. Then I'm guessing, for example, what that means is that maybe Bitcoin is going to be able to be used to actually purchase things, like as in, hey, if you are like a business, most likely like you have to accept Bitcoin now, a legal tender, a legal form of payment. That's what I'm guessing it is. Let's find out though.
Speaking to an opulent gathering of Bitcoin fanatics in Miami, Bukele said his country would be the first in the world to accept Bitcoin as national currency.
And you know what the big thing is, guys, right? This is like a massive movement. Everyone's getting in on this stuff. Everyone thinks that, hey, this is just the peak. Yes, Bitcoin lost 50%. Yes, it's pretty low right now, but it's going to be the biggest thing ever. So basically, this is just for the first step. Like when Tesla first accepted the payment method, now they're saying like this is the first country to accept this form of payment. But it's a country that's basically going through hyperinflation right now. So anything would do. Literally anything would do right now, okay? Let's find out exactly what's going on here. Let's find out all the details, though.
People were shocked. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that's lost nearly half its value in just the last few weeks.
Oh, I guess he mentioned it also. But again, right? The thing is, there is value and then this market price. Like, what is the true value? You know what I mean? Like, if I said, this right here is worth $10, but the market is trading for like $50, it's still just worth $10. You know what I'm saying? Value is not based on people are willing to pay for it, but it's based on the intrinsic value of something. That's the big difference. And by the way, if this right here is El Salvador, this stuff right here, guys, looks beautiful. Okay, this is a nice place. Look at this. This lady is over here like doing like surfing. Look at them rocks. Look at that background with the villa. Very nice.
But Bitcoin isn't entirely new to El Salvador. For the last 18 months or so, the tiny surf town of El Zonte has been running an experiment with Bitcoin.
Okay, interesting. So they're doing like a controlled experiment, and now they're about to expose it to the whole country. This should be interesting.
3,000 people live here, and the only ATM in town is a Bitcoin ATM.
3,000 people live here, and the only ATM in town is a Bitcoin ATM. This is not a cash ATM. It's just a Bitcoin ATM. Interesting. How the heck did they manage to get that type of monopoly over something? Because I'm guessing if I'm a business person and there are no ATMs, of course I'm going to try to put a normal ATM in there to make some money. But this sounds strange.
Just before the president's announcement, I headed to El Zonte to see how Bitcoin is changing the community.
Interesting. By the way, Vice is doing a great job with like these interviews and so on. People say they do like a terrible job, but I actually like it. I like hearing their perspective. Sometimes the interviewers obviously just don't know as much, but they know some stuff, so let's just find out. I need to do some shopping.
Hacer unas compras ahorita, Marcos.
Diga. Tell me.
Necesito $2 de huevo, cebolla, tomate, chile.
I'm like the translator here, okay, guys? So if you guys don't understand, green peppers. And yes, I speak Spanish.
Chile verde.
$1 también.
Sí.
$1, yes.
¿Cómo fue la aplicación?
Bitcoin Beach.
Oh, he's gonna pay with Bitcoin Beach. So he's paying her with Bitcoin. It's interesting, like what's the big risk here? You know, the big risk is that basically, you know, you could say, oh, Bitcoin is more stable than their currency because they're going through hyperinflation, which means like double-digit like numbers. And if you have like a currency that's also very, very, you know, how would I say this? Okay, Bitcoin fluctuates a ton also, but their currency right now is also not the best. So I guess that's the experiment here. So every person that uses this form of payment is also taking the risk of going through like, you know, some very, very rough downturns.
This is Milton Cabrera. He's a construction worker in El Zonte who gets paid in Bitcoin. And he says it's changed his life.
Interesting. It changes his life.
Why do you like getting paid in Bitcoin?
Lo prefiero porque igual de una manera u otra el Bitcoin, si lo recibo
If I receive it in cash in my hands, I will spend it. This is big excuse with people like I don't like cash because I spend all of it. Like it's just a sign of bad money management, okay? If you can't handle having cash in hand, like you know what I'm saying? Like you got a problem.
en cash, en mis manos, se gasta rápido. En cambio, si lo recibo en Bitcoin, puedo sacar lo que necesito y dejo aguardado un poco.
You can do that also with like normal cash. What he's saying is, guys, when I use Bitcoin, I can leave some in and then I can take the rest of the money for my needs and then the rest I can just leave in there. You can do that with cash also.
En esa forma puedo mantenerme ahorrando y gastando lo necesario nada más.
Interesting.
What do you use Bitcoin for normally in your life?
Sí, igual.
We use it to pay electricity, water bill. I mean, it's a legal tender, right? So you can use it to pay literally everything. So, you know, shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation, everything.
Lo podemos ocupar para pagar la electricidad, agua, igual poder comprar lo básico en la comida, en las tiendas, igual no tengo que estar viajando lejos, igual lo puedo hacer aquí en las tiendas, más fácil.
Are you worried that you're going to lose all your money? Because tomorrow the price of Bitcoin could go to zero.
Tal vez sí, pero igual.
Yeah, but the way we know Bitcoin, oh, look at this. The way we know, this is interesting. This is very interesting, guys. The way we know.
En la forma de que uno ha conocido Bitcoin, se pone a estudiarlo.
If you study it, sooner or later, it will go down. Sooner or later, it will go up. That is a very, very very weird statement. I'll say that much.
De tarde o temprano va a bajar, tarde o temprano va a subir. Igual no tendría, sí entra un temor, pero.
Of course you'd be scared, bro. Like, why wouldn't you be scared to like have all your? It's like having $100,000 in savings and then going through hyperinflation, but not knowing exactly what's gonna happen with your money and not having a sure grasp of what actually affects your money. Just like the idea, like I go up, I'll go down. Everything's gonna be fine.
Igual, si tiene paciencia uno esperando, puede subir y tal vez obtener ganancia.
How much extra money have you made because of Bitcoin?
Quizás unos $600, $700.
Wow.
So that's like a big thing, you know, like he's made a profit. So when somebody makes a profit, it's very hard to convince them otherwise, you know? So that's like a big thing there too.
Bitcoin sort of magically appeared in El Zonte. In late 2019, an anonymous American donated about 12 Bitcoins worth at least 6 figures to create a new crypto economy.
Interesting. An anonymous American donated 12 Bitcoins worth around 6 figures. I mean, Bitcoin went as high as 50,000, right? So 12, that's like what? Like, am I mistaken here? Is like $300,000? Am I mistaken, guys? Yeah, right? I'm not wrong here. Am I? No, I think I'm wrong.
The idea was for everyone in this town to
No, I am wrong, right? Am I crazy here? No, it's $600,000, right? Because 12 times 5 is 60. Yes, I think it's $600,000.
use Bitcoins for all their purchases. The founders of the Bitcoin Beach organization created a
Bitcoin Beach.
Bitcoin wallet, then started convincing people to use it.
Is this a surf team bus? Or
They hired locals like this guy, Roman Martinez, and partnered with Strike, an app like Venmo that lets people send each other money.
Interesting.
So to pay with Bitcoin, I got to get my phone out. So I have the Bitcoin.
I wonder if they charge them a premium for using Bitcoin, because I definitely would. You know, I mean, there's the risk that, you know, I know for sure what I mean, if everyone's accepting it is different, but if not everyone's accepting it, then you have the idea that, hey, this might go down and I still have to buy groceries, you know what I'm saying, to like do my business or whatever. So I wonder if they charge like a premium.
Bitcoin Beach wallet.
Okay.
And I have Strike. But I have no money in either of them.
Let's go to receive.
Uh-huh. So you sent me $10 in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
now
now
you
I
have-
can send it to her
Yeah.
by scanning her QR code.
Yeah.
which is here.
Nice. So that's like her little wallet thing. You can just send her money right away. Look at that, $2.75 for what? For a coffee? That's crazy.
Okay. That's it.
Cold brew with
Right.
Bitcoin, brother.
Cheers.
Welcome
Interesting.
to Bitcoin Beach.
President Bukele's Bitcoin announcement was made in a Zoom call to the
This is the president. A message from President Bukele.
CEO of Strike, a 20-something Bitcoin entrepreneur in the US. Strike and the Bitcoin Beach wallet are essentially used interchangeably in El Zonte, but Strike is available nationally, and the company seems to be
You know, one of the big things with Bitcoin is like the idea of like decentralizing currency. It sounds pretty cool, but then you have the perspective of people using this to kind of like go untracked by using money for the wrong reasons and accepting payments for the wrong reasons also, right? So it's interesting. But again, investment basis, that's what I consider. You know, some things you can buy, but some things you should be buying on an investment basis. And those things you have to be able to actually calculate. And this is not one of those things, at least in my opinion.
trying to tap into El Salvador's
It's the level of risk here.
$4.5 billion a year remittance market. The app gives users options to send either Bitcoin or dollars to each other.
Interesting.
When I signed up, the app prompted me to deposit money with a debit card or bank account. Sending Bitcoin was less user-friendly than dollars.
Okay, interesting. So there's like the option of either sending dollars or sending, for example, Bitcoin. And by the way, this place looks very nice. El Salvador is like it's a very poor country, by the way, right? But this seems like it to be like a very like nice area, which is nice. You know, the big thing is what I don't want to see is people losing a ton of their money if this thing is not panned out. You know, especially people that actually need money.
So when folks in El Zonte pull out their phones to make digital payments, they aren't necessarily using Bitcoin. And whether it's the Strike app or the Bitcoin Beach wallet, there are still kinks in the system.
Interesting. And by the way, I think there's parts in Africa where all their payments are just basically digital. Like not just with like iPhones, don't have to be like iPhone. It can be like any like little phone, and they're able to make these payments like back and forth. And it's like just digital currency. Because digital currency, not the problem. It's a form of currency, whether it's like crypto or is it like just normal US dollar. That's the big thing.
¿Y tú prefieres recibir su pago en Bitcoin o efectivo?
Bitcoin me sirve como un ahorro.
Ajá.
Bitcoin me sirve como un ahorro. This concept of Bitcoin works as a savings account. I don't know where people are getting this from. I've never seen a savings account that can go from earning you a lot of money to like wiping out a lot of your savings. That's not saving.
Pero hay veces que prefiero a veces así el efectivo.
Sí.
Why?
¿Has perdido dinero porque el precio de Bitcoin bajó mucho?
Sí, he perdido bastante.
¿Cuánto?
Yeah, look at that. So she lost some money.
Quizás como ni $20.
Okay.
I know she's lost like $20. You know, to you guys, and you know, to people maybe like in America, it might sound like a lot of money, but I don't even know what the average wage over there on a daily basis is. But it is a lot. It's like not that much. You know what I mean? So losing $20 might be maybe 2-3 days or 4 days or 5 days potentially, or for work, which is it means a lot. You know, so that's the big problem.
¿Yo puedo pagar ahora con Bitcoin o con efectivo? Su preferencia.
Pagué con Bitcoin, sí, con efectivo, ahí en su decisión.
You can pay me with anything you want. You know, Strike. You know, you can pay me with the US dollar. You can pay me with Bitcoin. You know, I would charge a premium for using Bitcoin. I would charge a premium.
¿Puedo usar Strike también o no? Solo Bitcoin Wallet.
Ahorita tengo un pequeño problema con Strike, pero estoy por solucionarlo porque como que no me recibió mi correo electrónico.
Oh, she's having a problem with Strike, I guess, because they haven't received like her email as she confirmed her identity. Maybe.
Entonces ahora tengo dinero en Strike, pero no en mi Bitcoin Wallet, entonces voy a pagar con efectivo.
No, puedes pasar también, bueno, según a mí me dijeron los chicos que de Bitcoin se puede pasar Strike, pero no sé.
Interesting.
The Bitcoin hub in El Zonte is the ATM, and it's not just used by locals. This guy drives for 2 hours to convert his Bitcoin to cash.
Have there been times when you...
I would too. I mean, the big thing is, right, like, this is interesting, right? The ATMs are pretty cool, right? But it's also the idea that if I have Bitcoin and I can just sell it, I can put it, for example. Well, the thing is, like, I don't know if they have like what we have here, the resources we have here. So why not just transfer into your bank, right? Like after you sell, cash, bank, cash. Like, why have to go here directly? And usually they have a massive premium, I think. I think the premium here is like they charge you like either 3 or 5% of the transaction size, usually with these ATMs, if I'm not mistaken.
You came and it didn't work or it was closed.
Sí, la última vez estaba, parece que no había efectivo.
What did you do in that situation?
Ah, me fui sin nada. Sí, no sé
2 hours and you just left without nothing.
qué nada. Eso pasó.
What's the biggest problem with Bitcoin right now?
La gente no cree, ¿verdad? Con tanto que ha pasado, cosas malas, cosas buenas. La gente lo más malo que ve es que piensa que, ahí como usted acaba de decir, de que posiblemente la moneda se vaya y se vaya abajo, ¿verdad? Y se quede uno sin nada. ¿Qué es lo que...
That is like a big thing, right? The idea that if it does go down, then we're left with nothing. And you could say, for example, you're being pessimistic, but you're being realistic. You know, and then he's about to say here, you have to be optimistic.
Tiene que ser un optimista, pues, para mantenerse.
Optimista con efectivo en mano.
Sí, vaya, imagina que...
Optimistic with cash on hand. You know, it's interesting, guys. It's interesting. But again, like, if you're working very hard and you're getting paid in Bitcoin, that's the only way you can get paid, by the way. Do you want to leave your money there, or do you want to potentially put your money, for example, in something you actually understand, like cash? You know, like either like US dollar or whatever it is, right? That's the big thing. It's kind of confusing me a little bit. I thought this country was going through hyperinflation, and maybe they converted over to the US dollar, if I'm not mistaken. And now they're trying to do Bitcoin also. It's a little confusing here.
Aquí se ha hecho realidad lo que apostamos.
Bueno.
Apostamos means bet, meaning gamble. So it's a gamble. You know, there's a difference between, like, I have money in my savings accounts, I have money in my investment accounts, and I have money in my gambling account. It's completely different. Nice beach, by the way.
The face of Bitcoin Beach is an American surfer who's lived in El Salvador for years. When the anonymous donor came calling in September 2019, he says he saw it as an opportunity to create new jobs, keep kids out of gangs.
Interesting.
Now, it's bigger than he could have imagined.
So you have this idea, we're going to create a Bitcoin economy. Step one. Step two is, how do you make that into reality? What were some of your early hurdles, challenges, as you're sort of turning this into, you know, harebrained scheme into something that works in practice?
For us to really make this happen, we had
Michael Peterson, Bitcoin Beach founder.
to introduce Bitcoin in the community and to get people to really start think, what is money? And why do they accept the dollar in their store? And what is the dollar doing over time? And we've shown...
Oh, this is the whole concept that money, dollar, fiat currency is losing a ton of value over time, blah, 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 blah. You know, inflation, price of goods and all that stuff. Interesting.
Here's this community in El Salvador, people, a lot of them living in shacks with dirt floor and
yeah, very real.
10 walls. And now they're all transacting on their smartphones. They're zipping around payments, you know, much easier than people in the first world are. And so it's, I think, proven that Bitcoin really is the money of the...
But that can't really be the reason, right? That can't be your valid thing to say, like, these people are poor, but now they can transfer money with an iPhone. Like, that's not the thing here. That's not the conversation.
The poor, of the people on the lowest level of the economic ladder, and can really transform their lives.
How does it feel to...
Yeah, but I'm a little confused, you know? Like, when people make these statements, right? The core idea is that these people want to create, like, Bitcoin, decentralized, like all this stuff, right? Just make, like, Bitcoin like the overall currency. Everyone accepts it. It's a lot more easier. Nobody's charging you money, all this stuff. I understand that concept, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't transform anybody's life, right? Because if it does become that, eventually it has to stabilize, right? And then once it stabilizes, then there is no aspect of that either, right? So it's not about making money. Like, I feel like a lot of people have a confusion about what they're actually doing with this stuff.
I asked the CEO of Strike if it's him. He said no. Some think it's Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, who's donated Bitcoins to fund El Salvador's national surf team. His spokespeople wouldn't talk to us.
Ooh, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't.
The local leader of Bitcoin Beach says the donor's identity doesn't matter.
En realidad no es una persona que no conocemos. Solo
In reality, it's not someone we don't know. Interesting.
no es una persona que nosotros podemos estar diciéndole a todas las personas quién es, ya que hoy en día tener dinero, alguien quiere afectar tu vida o algo. Ahora es un boom en la comunidad, no tenemos que darle cuenta si funcionó o no. El Bitcoin se quedó por la comunidad.
You've had people here in other communities who say this is a fraud or a robbery, a trick for the gringos to take my money.
Sí, hay muchas personas diciendo que es una estafa.
Estafa. How is this scam? Let's hear it.
Hay estafas en todas áreas.
There's there's scams everywhere. I never like hearing that statement, you know, like this is a scam, but there's always scams, right? There's always scams everywhere, guys. There's always scams everywhere.
Entonces este solo, creo que solo las personas que tal vez no les guste el Bitcoin están empujando más para hacer creer esto, pero al final del día cuando le descargas a una persona su wallet, le pones una porción. Si Bitcoin fuera malo, yo no quisiera andar en la calle.
Sí.
No. Y,
I see what you're saying.
no, Bitcoin está cambiando a pasos gigantes las comunidades.
Yeah, you guys notice, like, God bless everyone in this video, but no one, and by the way, I'm done with this video here because it's getting too long and we're just going around in circles here, but no one's actually talking about anything in this video, you know, the big thing is, for example, what I've heard is basically, right, because I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to like what's actually going on in Salvador, but what I heard was that they were having, for example, hyperinflation with their currency, and then most likely the US dollar came into play. And now they're using, for example, the Strike app or any wallet app or whatever it is to actually use the dollar to actually make people like digital payments. But on top of that, that's not all. Because now you have, for example, like Bitcoin also being used as a payment form. And that's the way everyone envisioned it. And the whole idea is to decentralize money, to have banks have no more power, have all these transaction fees, all this stuff. And now that's what's actually taking place in Salvador. It's kind of like a little experiment to see exactly how everything works out. But everyone that's talking about this stuff is just talking about, for example, the aspect of, hey, you have Bitcoin, you have us being able to make potential a lot of money and all this stuff. It's all about this gambling aspect of Bitcoin, the gamifying of Bitcoin. That's what people actually love and fall in love with so much, you know? And, my idea is that if you are poor, and I can talk about this stuff because my grandma lived in one of those shacks. My grandma had a floor where it was just dirt. You know what I'm saying? It was just dirt. And one thing is that when you have those people, what they need is, obviously they need help, they need money, they need all these things. But when you have somebody accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment and you hear them saying this is a type of savings accounts or it helps me stop spending money, it's the wrong concept of it. Or I can make a lot of money with it. It's the wrong concept. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big issue. That's the thing I'm saying here. But overall, guys, if you guys do finish this video on your own, let me know how it ended, okay? I'm interested, but I just felt like it was going around in circles over and 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 over again. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. Comment down below if you agree with me or disagree with me. I'm interested, okay? Comment down below, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. More videos like this one right here. Click my face right here. See you guys tomorrow. And as always, peace.